Citizen FM Abuja. Now we be the voice of the people. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dreams. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dreams. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Shiki, shiki, Citizen FM, Citizen FM.
Nigeria go better, Nigeria go better, Nigeria go better, Nigeria go better. If Nigeria go better, now your hand in it. If Nigeria go better, now my hand in it. Make we join us together, make Nigeria go better.
So you check out now 4 minutes past 8 o'clock on top the radio. Now waiting time not to talk this morning. Citizen FM 93.7 for Abuja. And I tell we day this better morning. How it be? I see you, buddy. I see you. Now I can send you. I go collect that. No, I don't see you now, but no problem. I go send you that book. Don't worry, I will see you. I don't see you, buddy, motirigi, motirigi. All right, thank you so much. 5 minutes past 8 o'clock, still on Still Super Citizen at Sunrise. Now the show where we did this better morning on Top Citizen FM 93.7, and the bus stop where we did now the bus stop of the Big Talk. All right, Super Citizen at Sunrise, Big Talk. Okay, so now you get something where we need to touch light: cash and elections. Cash and elections. Waiting be the connection. Now make we look at the connection we concern cash and elections. Now because many people don't they talk say election, and they talk about the whole thing where they happen about cash. Now to truncate elections. Say some people fifth columnists they try to truncate the election and make them bring this whole cash policy, cash matter. Now so we don't hear some kind of conspiracy theory we don't fly up and down. But make we really look inside the matter. All right, from the CBN angle to you, we go vote to INEC angle. Make we see all the things them we concern cash. But I want make we start from. I want make we start this particular conversation. Make we listen to something. All right. If we listen to this particular clip, all right, then we go start to the talk about this whole matter. Now this clip, now from the man when he be saying. Inimna Al Hassan Ado Dogoa, na House of Reps Majority Leader, and of course, na person will be say she done as chair for the committee. We look inside the matter. We concern this whole cash swap and cash crunch for the House of Rep there. Now, you get something when you talk. Make we start from there. Start to the talk about cash and elections. I want to make you listen. If we come back, we guest Sir Philemon Ajekuko. We will put him on the phone call. Make we still analyze all of these matters based on one or two. Listen to this one and they come back now.
Vote buying question, like you said, I want to tell you without any equivocality that I, the Adodogwa you know, who has won the election 7 times, and that I belong to the ruling APC proudly. No one of us in the APC, and I believe even in other parties, is out to buy votes. But you must also take into cognizance that there is a clear-cut provision in the Electoral Act which provides for the amount of money needed for every political office holder to take during campaign to use. A member of the House of Representatives is expected by law to have not more than 70 million naira to conduct his elections and whatever, logistics and other things. 70 million naira cash by law. Yes. A presidential candidate, for instance, needs to have how much? About 5 billion or 1 billion. 1 billion for presidential candidates. At least the law has provided for us the amount of money we need to oversee our election process.
All right, so then the voice of the man where be say in name na Ado Dogua and scoff na man where be say na House of Rep Majority Leader and scoff na still the committee chair we sit down on top of this whole matter we consign Naira cash crunch and all of that. Now he talks something. He said law allow them say to hold as him la we sit down there as legislators say law allow them to hold hard according to high tech, but I say hard copy cash 70 million naira cash. Then say president, anybody with contest for president, say you need to hold 1 billion naira cash, hard copy, according to how in TikTok. Now we won't really know, say, election fee really happen without cash, Abi. According behind TikTok, you say law allow them. Now the same CBN now of course CBN now joint body of government, and of course Supreme Court they involved for the whole matter. Now we want to know whether election go fee really happen without this hard copy cash in circulation. Because INEC itself don't talk say make anybody not think election go happen as scheduled. Meanwhile, INEC on their own, themselves, they may not tender the requisition of how much they need. And according by the headline today, they say yes. It is on top of Daily Trust this morning. It says CBN don't give them the money where they need for the election. Make we look all of these matters. Make we see the connection between cash and elections from the angle of the contestants, from the angle of INEC, from the angle of the voters. Make we see how cash an election take relate, whether election go take successful or not successful with cash or without cash. We'll go check all those things. And as usual, we get the very solid confirmed human being where still balance well for inside the live inside studio. We don't talk about phone line. We get Safil Ajekuko live inside of the phone line. He did the phone line. Safil, you did there? Hello, sir. All right, make I try call him back quickly so that we go talk about some of these things. So make I play this clip, make you hear from the mouth of a lawmaker waiting in talk. Then we go take the discussion from there. Yes, hello, sir. You there?
I there. Where is the maker stay now?
Welcome. I trust you, Norma. All right. So quickly, Safil. I don't know whether you hear that short clip what we just play now.
I hear him.
Yes, say Ado Dogua, Al Hassan Ado Dogua, House of Rep Majority, and House of Rep member, in talk say law allow him to hold 70 million naira in hard copy, than a cash, for election expenses. He say for anybody who they contest president, say law allow him to hold 1 billion hard copy. Meanwhile, in short, make we even start from there. Safil, make we start from this place. 70 million naira hard copy. Say law allow them. what do you make of this particular one? Make we start this conversation from there.
The man, talk am the way it's supposed to talk am.
Okay.
The law, the electoral law says there's a spending limit for every electoral position. You understand?
Yes.
For the president, now 5 billion. 5 billion, not even 1 billion, 5 billion. That's the limit the party should spend on when you go spend on a presidential candidate. All right. Then governor, 1 billion naira. That is the limit the party should spend on a governor or a gubernatorial candidate. Then for the Senate, the limit is 100 million naira. The House of Rep, where this guy did so, now 70 million. So it go down like that to the State House, 30 million, chairman of council, 30 million, and council members, 1 million. What that means is that you, as a candidate, you are not allowed to spend more than that amount of money on your campaign. It does not necessarily say that you must have that money in hard cash. All right? But because of the nature of political processes, transfer is the language of politicians. Politicians do cash transaction. So if you go to if you go and see, let's say you go and see a traditional ruler, they are not going to be asking him to give you his bank account, you transfer money to him. Part of the kola nut when they give them now money, and that money must come cash because they say most politicians once they come out for where you dey to get them now hala. So everybody don't know say if politician come visit you, make it drop that thing when they call cash. As they go, you they wave and bye bye. You they put your Ghana must go for under your bed, like some of these comedians they do. So that is why politicians need cash, and the man is right to say that the law protects them, provides for them. So to deny them of that money is against the electoral law itself, and that is correct.
Okay, so make we get them right now. The law provide for them to hold cash and spend cash, but the law say make the no spend for House of Rep, not spend more than 70 million. For president, don't spend more than 5 billion. Abi?
Let me correct you a little bit.
All right.
The law does not say that money should be in cash.
Okay.
The law says don't spend more than that money.
Cash or no cash?
But the law is silent on how that money should be handled. The law does not say whether it should be in cash or in transfer. It doesn't say that. So it is now left for you, the politician, to determine how you want to spend that money, either in cash or transfer or whatever. But like I've just said, no heat of campaign is cash. So to that extent, you cannot prosecute a politician for spending cash that he can later account for in the filing to the electoral body.
All right, so you cannot.
That is the truth.
Yes, you cannot prosecute a politician for spending cash during election. Cash where it accounts for.
Right.
All right.
The only thing the law does not provide for is solicitation for somebody to change with the person where they want vote for. That is what we call vote buying. The law prohibits vote buying.
All right.
But if politicians
go ahead.
Go to a place now and say, okay, we'll make now take if the politicians go to a place now and say, provide money to buy water for everybody that is here, he has not committed any offense. Or he goes to visit somebody and he drops the money, he has not committed any offense. But on election day, if he goes around trying to solicit votes by giving people money.
Okay.
So,
okay, now make we get them clearer, because I want make we break this whole cash and elections, make we break them down on the angle of politicians, on the angle of INEC, and the angle of the voters. Now, we still deal with the politicians now. When you say politician wake on polling booths, buy water for everybody, say never... You there? Hello?
Yes, I think the thing they go up and down, but you manage them.
Yes, I understand. Now the network issues, we got to manage them like you talk. Now when you say politician talk, say you say yes, politicians, if you come for polling booth, say, oh yeah, make I buy everybody where they make gonna carry one bottle of water, make gonna take step down. He no say make gonna vote for him, he just buy water. You don't feel say that one self na inducement, na indirect inducement, say because say this person buy me water, I go just consider him. That one not be indirect way of enticing voters to vote for him.
Anything we do, we cannot do in isolation. There are experiences from all over the world. You remember the last contentious election in the US, 2020. You remember? Republicans said that black people, a lot of black people were being given water to drink while they are online. If somebody stays online, for instance, in this hot sun for hours, and somebody comes and provide water, there's no problem about that. I don't think there's a problem. I think it's the nature and the words and the statements that are made that could be interpreted. For instance, the politician doesn't have to come to the place. He can send his agents, go and give water to people to. You as a politician, for instance, you would like to protect people who are, for instance, who have come to vote for you.
Yes.
So if you have, let's say, in Lagos, let's say Agege, and Jagaban know that Agege is his stronghold, there's no problem that he would send, let's say, his agents to go and buy water for people who have made up their mind to vote, to give them water to drink. That's not an infraction. I don't see it as an infraction.
Okay.
It is when you begin to campaign, for instance, at the scene. Say, make sure once you say you cross that line, they tell people, say, make sure you vote for Jagabano, vote for Bola. You have started campaigning, and that could be understood to be an inducement.
Yes, that's vote buying.
Yeah, and the law itself forbids that you cannot campaign 24 hours or so before the election.
24 hours before election. All right. Now, make we talk about this talk about election logistics, because waiting in talks ain't need them for election logistics. Now, make we talk about this election logistics, make we break them down. Somebody beside them, they shout, when they talk that is somebody where they beside them, they talk, party agent. Now, we know it is important for party agents to be around the polling units. Like, it is allowed, the provisions there for that one. But when they talk about cash now and elections, party agents now by force to say they must need cash to take function on that day, because we want to know how much cash fits function on that election day. So party agents, for instance, now by force, or is it compulsory? Say now they need cash to do their work that day.
Now we don't talk and say you're going for election. Election will start around 8 something, right?
Yes.
And officially close at 2 o'clock. You and I know that according to the law, once you day line at 2 o'clock or 2:30 or thereabout, you must be attended to. So it's possible that you will be at that polling unit at 6 o'clock. From 6 o'clock to maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. You're not going to chop, you're not going to drink water. And maybe not only you did there will be people who are hanging around you. You remember the electoral law even provides that people who have voted, they can stay around.
Yes,
till the votes are counted.
To observe, yes.
To observe. So there is nothing wrong for the polling agent to buy water, to buy food for people who are waiting, for instance, to observe. There's nothing wrong with that. And how much cash should they hold? That is up in the air. The law does not say how much cash you should hold while you are at the polling units. It just puts a cap on the total amount that should be spent. So everybody who goes to, even individuals who go there to vote, don't they hold cash? Will they not buy food for themselves? Will they not buy water? So they will have this money. I think the concern is, how do you acquit yourself at the polling units? How do you behave yourself? That is the important thing. It's not the amount of cash you are holding or what you are doing with the cash. as per providing for provisions, making provisions for people who have come to vote or your fellow party agents. That is not the question. The question is, how do you behave yourself? If you go about holding cash in the air and you are sharing money, obviously, to induce people, that is against the law. If you buy water, you buy food, people will come that day to sell food. So if you buy food, you eat, you give to people around you to eat, you haven't done anything as long as you are not saying anything.
You're not campaigning or trying to induce people.
You are not campaigning.
Okay.
So you have not broken the law, and nobody can hold you responsible for that.
All right. So thank you for that clarification. Now, make we go over to INEC now. Something they very key. We Falana talk about INEC this morning. They on top of Daily Trust when they talk. Now, INEC been done make requisition, say see how much they need. And as at this morning, the headline, one of the headlines say INEC don't get the cash where they need for the elections. Now, but Falana talk something. They say it ain't wrong. Say CBN usurping INEC's independence. Say INEC the independence. So we could talk about the independence of INEC and how it involved the cash. So INEC now, they suppose they generate their own funds, or how? Are they not supposed to work with CBN to get the money where they need to do what they're supposed to do? The cash where they need to do what they're supposed to do? Now, that's number one. Number two, we say the money where they give INEC, they give them in cash, because the headline say cash, they get cash for election. That one no contradicts the whole monetary policy of, they don't mention how much, I don't know how much, but they say they give them cash. That one no contradicts this whole thing. They don't suppose they do cashless.
You know the way it is.
Yes.
Every business has a culture. There are ad hoc staff. You are talking about thousands of human beings who will be on the streets, who will be in different areas of Nigeria on Saturday, even before Saturday. Are you saying that this should be doing transfers? It's not possible. It will be a logistic nightmare. I want to enter bus from here to Garki, and I won't do transfer for who? For the Keke Napep man? Is it possible? Assuming I even do it and the money not go, then what happens? The Keke Napep man go carry me there for free, or he go take my number, they call me 2 days later? It's not possible now. So that does not necessarily, and I said it one time I came to the studio before, that when you say cashless does not mean it does not mean that.
Yes.
Because if I go to the market to buy,
calm down again. You break up that and we don't really hear you. Say cashless does not mean what?
Yes.
Cashless does not mean what?
Cashless does not mean the no existence of cash. It doesn't mean that. The original intention of CBN over this policy is to get all the money in circulation to go through the banking system. That's the intention. They say some money they outside the banking system, which means that money not the touch bank teller. So if I go to the market and I buy something and I give money to somebody, that person will eventually put that money in the bank. So the money is within the bank. It is a combination of cash and transfers. So, but there are certain things. If you go inside market, inside bush market, go to buy okra, go to buy ugu, for God's sake, you can't be doing transfers now. It's not possible. There are places inside that bush where network not, even for times, me and you, they talk, are we not battling with network? And transfers depend on network to go through. So INEC officials, they need cash. It does not in any way infract on the law of cashlessness. It does not.
Okay.
It does not. They need this money to be able to run around.
They need the money to be able to run around. Now, if INEC need cash and politicians need cash. How about the voters? How much cash? Yes. How about the voters? Now you don't talk about say person need to buy water, person need to. So obviously small change. People need small change to do some things. But I want to know one thing. Say this whole policy, how it go take effect? It no go amount to voter apathy. People go look and say, as I don't get cash, make I day my house. What do you make of this one now?
There are two possible reactions to this problem. One possibility is apathy, right? Out of anger. But it is also possible that the anger will drive people to the polling units. In which case they are saying, because this injury has been done on me, I must go. They will call it protest vote. And protest vote can drive people to the polling units. Let me give you an example.
Protest vote.
Yes, protest vote. Yes, can drive people to the polling unit no matter what the situation is. Let me give you an example. Okay. During the 2020 election in America, you remember the Republicans made it almost practically impossible for black people to vote the way they are used to voting. They made it impossible. But what happened? The black people came out en masse to do protest voting. So, and that was what changed the result in favor of Biden. So I also expect, and you can see that too from the rallies. Have you been seeing people at the rallies?
Yes, I see them, crowd.
Have you asked yourself, how did these people get to those rallies?
Well, no, but somebody go say some of those rallies, some transfers, did they give them some kind of financial motivation to come out, or some of them they come out?
If you that is possible.
Yes.
But you can't do that for a whole lot of people. You cannot do that. You can't. There are people who are motivated by their own party enthusiasm. Let me tell you, party faithfuls are faithfuls, and no matter the situation, they will go and support their party, no matter the situation. So that is an energizer. That is a motivation. So you cannot rule that out. So the bottom line is that people will become so angry as to say, even if it means them waking up at 4 o'clock to trek to the polling unit, some people are going to do that. So that is a possibility on Saturday.
That is a possibility on Saturday. So they try talk, say, the possibility they say, instead of this cash situation to cause voter apathy, if it be the reverse, if it even motivate people to come out, take votes based on what in the field.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Now, make we look, we don't check the whole angle, we don't look the politicians, we don't look, they say the cash, where they're supposed to spend and all of that. Now, make we see this whole cash policy from a general perspective, Safio. You see this whole thing, say it favor the election, because one of the things where CBN governor mentioned, we say in one cob vote buying, or the government, not necessarily him, say vote buying. Now one of the things where the one cob with or one stop or reduce with this whole cash policy, where the bring come outside with the way where this thing they go, you see them say this whole thing they achieve that goal of stopping vote buying or reducing vote buying. You see them like that.
There's something we call psychology of criminal law. Do you understand? What that means is that it's not necessarily the law that curbs criminality. And the law as a tool, if you use the law as a singular tool for combating criminality, you are not going to have success. Let me explain that. If the CBN does what it's doing now and it goes through with it, are we saying that in every election cycle we will have to change our money, we have to restrict cash movement? Is that what we are saying? Would that even be healthy, given what has happened today? Let me give you an example also from America. I like giving an example from America. America is the capital of homicide. Do you agree with that?
Homicide.
More people are killed. Yes, more people are killed in America than any developing and underdeveloped country in this world. Now, look at their laws. Look at how tough their laws are. Somebody can get a life sentence of two or three or four lifetime. Have you heard of that? You can give somebody a term of 150 years, 160 years. But has that curbed the growing rate of homicide in America? Do you understand where I'm going? So I'm trying to illustrate that point, that you do not necessarily have to use law to curb criminality. It doesn't work. There are what we call social tools.
Social proof.
So if you build social tools.
Tools. Okay, tools.
Now, for you, so if you look at if you look at America, for instance, the reason you have crime there is because they have free access to guns, right? If you compare it to a place like United Kingdom, you don't have free access to guns. So you have more homicide in America than you have in the United Kingdom. So that is a social tool. The United Kingdom people don't believe that their people should just be going around buying guns like they're buying chewing-gum or buying akara on the street. So what that means is that we have to re-engineer our electoral system to move people away from vote buying. If, for instance, you have a thorough enlightenment, you enlighten the people on the need to perform their civic duty without inducement, and the implication of being induced, the long-term implication of being induced, that will make more sense than that with a law, a law that will necessarily restrict the use of it during election cycle. So the point I'm trying to make is this: a law that is done just for one single purpose usually does not, in the long run, does not succeed. So that is why when, for instance, in those days, they say, oh, we should shoot armed robbers in Nigeria. That's the only way armed robbers will disappear. Today, armed robbery don't disappear. We still have armed robbery. In fact, it's even worse now because we have bandits, we have kidnappers running all over the place. So it's not about the law, it's about social tools. And then there's something else I will say.
Yes.
When you make life comfortable for a generality of the people, they become self-educated. Let me repeat that. When you make life generally comfortable for the people, they become self-educated. I will ask you now, Ezemmuoe, if somebody gives you now 20,000 to go and vote for a particular candidate, won't you think a lot more than the ordinary person on the street who is struggling? The only reason why you would think twice is because you are a little more comfortable. So when you have a lot of people who are comfortable with their lives, if, for instance, the government has done the right thing and Nigeria is flourishing, and you take 5,000 naira to somebody on the polling day to go and induce the person for his vote, will the person not spit on your face? Who will do that? Yeah, the person will speak, they quiz. You think I'll be idiot, you think I'll be fool when you want to, but come out here. Because he does not have need for that 5,000 naira. So Nigeria government should look at how to lift citizens out of poverty. My grandmother told me one day when she go vote, I asked her who you vote for. She said she don't know. He said, but they give her something. The woman doesn't even know who she voted for. Maybe somebody else not even thumbprint for her. So she did that maybe because she needed the money to buy tobacco, which she loves taking. So the bottom line is that, my brother, there are better ways. Draconian laws do not move societies forward. If not so, remember there was a time when the military say, if you steal our oil, if you blow our pipelines, my death sentence for you. You remember?
Yeah.
But over the years, as I said before in an earlier interview, stealing of oil has become moved up to an industrial scale. But there are laws in the books dealing with that. So it's not just about the laws. It's about how the society uses tools to curate the people, to move them away from a set. They will call them nudging in behavioral economics. We call it nudging. You can make people to behave, nudging. You can make people to behave in a certain way by carefully moving them as if you are moving a steering gradually, using this social tool. I think going forward, that is what the government should concentrate on. This will not change. Guess what will happen in 2027 when the election cycle, when the Emefiele would have been long gone? Vote buying will be back.
All right.
It will be back.
Maybe by then they go devise another way to curb them again.
So every election will be devising means of we go tired because criminals are never tired.
Yes. You're never tired. But I like something where you talk about rejigging the entire electioneering process. You talk about to make it more sustainable. Now, but Safil, make we look, especially if you look places like Northwest, you look places like the North generally, Northwest, Northeast, even, in fact, I don't even make them about the North. For different parts of the country, Southwest, South, everywhere, the rural voters, according by statistics, they say they about 60% of those rural voters, they don't even get bank account. They don't even get bank account. They don't get in fact, even for those rural areas, even the ones who get bank accounts, banks no 2 day like that. And some of the ATMs no 2 day like that. POS no plenty like that. How this one go take, and then we know by statistics too, say vote where they come out there, it a choke, especially for the North. You go just look city. When the notes from the votes from those rural places begin to roll in, you go shock. So how this lack of adequate or enough financial institution for those rural places, how it take the effect? How you see I'm saying it could take affect the vote or the voter turnout inside of this election?
Let me before I go on, let me correct an impression.
Okay.
Those votes when they come from the rural areas most of the time are mago votes. When election they go on, the politicians are reading what is, you see, in the city centers, it is difficult for them to do certain things. So once election they go on, the party agents are deployed to the rural areas. As people they vote for town, what they are doing there is thumb printing. They sit down and thumb print. That is why anybody when they talk today say, we will give you 1 million votes from here, we'll give you 1 million votes from there. It's not going to be like that this election. And there is a reason for that.
What's the reason?
In the previous election,
yes,
is because of waiting INEC will use this time to judge overvoting. In those days, in the previous election, they use the voters register. So if 1 million people they voters register, for instance, okay, let me simplify it. If in a polling unit there are 200 people in the voters register, the party agents will be at liberty to put a figure of 180, 190, 195, or even 200 over 200. And when the case gets to court and you are trying to prove overvoting, it will be impossible for you to do that because the Supreme Court has decided that your reference point is not the people who were accredited. your reference point is the voters register. That is during previous election up to 2019. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, for this election, what will be the reference point? The reference point is not the voters register.
Accredited voters.
Reference point is the number of people accredited by BVAS.
So over, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I wanted to say, so overvoting now means, even if 1,000 people register for a particular unit and accredited voters now 500, if you get 501 for that unit, now overvoting.
Not overvoting. And according to the electoral guideline, once you have one person above the accredited people, the voting in that unit should be cancelled.
Wow.
So if you have 500 accredited and 501 voted, everything in that unit votes is nullified.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Will be nullified. Will be nullified by the polling officer. Now, but there is also a danger. The danger is with rogue INEC officials who may have been compromised. And you saw that in the Ekiti. You saw it in Ekiti. That in spite of INEC instruction, some presiding officers saw that they had more figures than accredited and they overlooked it. And so that was what became the point of contention at the tribunal. So this cash thing is not an issue at the village level. It is more of an issue at the urban area where people may have to go a little distance to vote. In the village, now people they waka go polling unit. You know the way they enter taxi they go.
Not be lie.
So it's not of concern at all as far as I can see. It's not of for my village. You can walk from one part of the village to the other. And it is like that in every village.
Yeah.
And you have said it during your earlier program.
Yes.
That INEC has even brought the polling units closer to the people by creating new polling units.
Yes.
So that the distance when you go waka go, it not go day too far. So that is why I feel that this cash crunch may not have the expected that people are projected. It may not be.
It may not be.
And that will be tested. That will be tested because normally you have maybe 50% of the people, or even less, in any election voting. So you may have 93 million people registered, and you may have 40 million people voting in the first place. So how it will be for this election, we will know after the figures are compiled to see the data and the statistics and what we can learn from it. We'll wait.
All right. Yes, you talk one key thing there, very important key thing where you talk. Say, this whole cash crunch now more of issue to voters in urban areas than rural areas. That one key thing where you mentioned. All right, still now the big talk where we did this morning, where they check them out, things that we concern cash, how cash take connects to election, how cash to go take affect the election positively or negatively. Now what we don't check this morning on top of the big talk, again, Philemon Ajekuko live on top of the phone lines, where they talk about them. Now the phone lines, make I open the phone lines for the studio here in case you were to hear us, you get something to chuck in for inside of the talk. 0903 22 29 797. Now the number where you go fit to take call, all right, so that you go fit to take put your own opinion. The other line will be 0818 22 22 205. Now the line where me and Safil take the talk. So if you call that one, you go there and waiting. So if you just call quickly 0903 22 29 797, or you go drop message quickly for WhatsApp on top 0818 22 22 205. Make we read them. Now get one message here quickly. Safila, they come back to you quickly. Make I just collect this message quickly.
Okay.
Yes, this one now the message from caller. Caller say He said, Chief Priest, there is one thing I noticed about Nigerians. He said, Nigerians' reactions. He said, one thing I noticed about Nigerians' reactions to issues of election. Say, it's like we overthink election matters. And when someone begins to overthink something, if proper care is not taken, you will start to misinterpret the subject matter. Now, caller talks so. And it be like say that thing is similar to what you talk. Say, make we no go reason am too much. Say
that is correct.
Say if the people feel the reason I'm saying the thing now go stop voting or cause voter apathy. But if it be say now the same reason self now make go make people come out more and more to vote.
Yes. And another thing,
yes.
To add to what caller they talk.
Yes.
Sometimes with the exaggerate things. Let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
When the president say, I will hand over to a democratically elected government, and everybody they clap for him. I ask myself sometimes, what is he expected to do before?
Of course.
Not be the way he come in. Now the next person is supposed to come in.
Of course, you need to hand over to.
You need to hand over. You don't have any option. If you stay there now, you know what you will find. So what that means, and I agree with Kola, sometimes we dey overtalk this election. We dey talk election like say now do or die according to former president. It should be a normal thing. If people should go about their business when it's election day, they go and vote and move on with their life. It is only when there are countries in this world where they do election, not they hear for news at all. You know that?
Yeah.
If you hear, they make a big deal out of it. The only reason American election has become such a big deal is because there are more people in the electoral process there now who just they scatter everywhere, make a country, an advanced country, look like some banana republic. Otherwise, it shouldn't be. Election should not be a big deal. It should come, it should go. People should not over analyze, as if our life depends on the election. If election like people where they say with the election for God's sake, every 4 years the constitution says there should be election. So the mere fact that you are debating whether election will hold or never or not will hold means say you don't know what you will do. Because if you know what you will do, you're not supposed to debate that at all. What you will analyze is who is the likely winner.
Yeah.
And what is in it for the country. That is where you should be talking.
All right.
You understand?
Yes. Thank you so much. Now quickly, we still on top of the matter. The phone line data is 0903 22 29 797, 0808 22 22 037. All the numbers will be taken on this morning. Now, but quickly, as I feel, make we bring in because we will just round up gradually. Make we bring in the long queues because sometime last week the long queues been disappeared. All right, and now somebody drive away carry me yesterday say no be safe we are no day. Waiting they cost the queue, this new queue now where they come out now. Say people they line up now. It is cash related. People they line up for POS to make payments. Because of that one, they delay to decongest the petrol stations. Now I want to make we bring in this one quickly. How this whole fuel matter go affect the election? Shana, the same thing. Say people go vex because of the whole thing. Take that vex, hit the ballot box, or say the thing itself get its own appeal. Make we bring in the question of fuel scarcity or queues for petrol station inside this matter.
I don't get gray hair over this fuel issue. Talking about fuel issues. I hope Nigeria no go kill me. I find it vexing because I went to a filling station and I actually saw instead normally now the people when they dispense fuel, I they hold POS. Now what they did is to take the POS to one particular location within the filling station, and people will go and queue there. I didn't bother to go and find out what is going on there because I believe that at some point, and as I've heard, some people are not even charging. They are charging. What it means is that what they do is that they will say their POS is not working, and I will prove that to you very soon. They will say their POS is not working, and they will get somebody else who will be doing the POS service, and that person will be charging. And guess where that money will end up? It will be shared between the person who is doing the POS and the fuel station. Or it could also be that even the POS belongs to the fuel station itself, but they are now pretending that it does not belong to them. So what I did was I just drove away. I now drove to NNPC filling station in Gudu. What I saw there even got me more mad. These guys told me that NNPC station, they told me that they don't have POS, that they are only doing cash transaction. Wow. A filling station owned by NNPC.
Wow.
By NNPC. Now, the downstream commission issued a warning like 2 or 3 weeks ago that they don't want to hear filling stations say that POS is not working. They issued that warning. So what you have is is a group of human beings who are just doing whatever they want to do. They don't obey directives. They don't obey the law. They just flout all directives and do whatever they want to do without consequences. Now, I have not seen a situation, all of this happening. Have you heard the CBN say, this is a hotline? If you notice your bank doing this, call us. I don't know whether it exists. I don't know.
I never see them.
I never see them too. So how filling station, inside the cash crunch, a filling station is telling me they don't have POS. No. 1, 2, 3, 4 POS working there before are no longer working suddenly. And they now expect me to buy fuel of 6,000, 7,000 with cash. So I drove away. That is the second filling station. And I drove away to a third filling station. It was there I was able to buy, and I left, and I filled my tank. And I told myself, this one, when I don't fill my tank, this tank must last me till upper weekend. Whatever I can do to make it happen. So you can see how behavior is spoiling our country. Behavior, just how we behave is spoiling that's why I wrote something on my status. It's not PVC that will change that behavior. It's not PVC.
True.
It is us that will change that bad behavior. That everything that happens, we want to take advantage, we want to disrupt the system, and we don't listen to any advice from anybody. So, but how would you even advise the people when a CBN governor is telling you and I, disregard what the Supreme Court has said, I am now the God in charge? So where do we go from there?
All right.
I don't know.
All right. So quickly, Safil, you don't touch some key things. Now, we need to go now. You don't talk many important points. If we continue, many questions there, but if we continue to the talk, time no go let us. So in the next 30 seconds, Safil, one of the things where you talk when I hold your hand, we say this whole cash issue. If you don't even affect the election like people they talk, if you even be saying if you be saying the motivation serve to make people come out, I hold that one strong. A very key point where you make this morning. So I beg in the next 30 seconds, which word where you go leave for Nigerian voters, citizens, we go vote on Saturday? Which word where you go leave for them as we come out for inside of the studio this morning?
Whoever wants to go and vote, let the person go and vote. And the strongest word I have is for the politicians who are not behaving like adults. They should behave themselves. And whoever wants to fight on behalf of politicians, I feel sorry for such people. The best the politician would do is to send what they call them, that message when they said to people when they die or people relations, our hearts. A condolence message. That is the best thing you will get. That is if the politicians remember. That's the only thing you will get. Your family will suffer. Your marriage, your children, they will suffer. So if you are going to die for a politician, I feel sorry for you. If you haven't learned your lesson by now, I feel sorry.
All right.
Those who are putting themselves well, be on the watch, be safe. If you see your life being in danger, my brother, go back to your house and go and hide.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Safil, for your time. Thank you for always being available for here. We appreciate you.
Welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. So quickly, now here we go. Now the bus stop, where we go bumpy. Time no day again. Time no be with friend again. Shout out to everybody who don't join us at 6 o'clock this morning. Now here we go park the bus. 9 o'clock with the entire side the newsroom. Make we hear what thing they happen for Bodo the world. Then they call me the chief priest tomorrow. Make we do them again on top super citizen at sunrise. Waiting be the reason where you no go take votes for this election. Think you will get PVC. You don't register. Why? You no go vote. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Enjoy.
This is our journey. We've had our finest moments and our darkest hours. Yet we pull ourselves back from the brick every time.